Alright, today's gonna be a little different, guys. And I'm sorry. I'm really sorry it has to be different. I didn't want to have to record over my own audio, but with all the pauses in between, I'm really just, I don't know. It just doesn't feel right, you know, like, or not right, but rather, I feel like my message won't really come across. It might be a little boring to listen to, especially when I'm just getting lost in thought or just concentrating on the game sometimes. So I figured I'd make this a separate audio because it'll be a little more easier for me to discuss things without a distraction going on and whatnot. But, you know, as you might have noticed, there was like this long delay between me releasing episode 5 from when I released episode 4. I mean, one being just actual like family situation and stuff like that, you know, just really, you know, sad, depressing stuff. And, you know, everyone goes through different kinds of, you know, events in life, and, you know, they help us grow as a person. But, you know, that was just 5 days. And then after that, I could have worked on episode 5. You know, I was comfortable enough to, but I didn't. And it's not because of any kind of like, oh, you know, because I was still recovering from, you know, this sad moment in my life, but rather it was because I mean, this is a common thing for me, until I started, you know, when I started releasing the Friends of Ringo Ishikawa videos, I kind of got back into my groove a little bit. You know, I started having fun. You probably noticed on, was it episode 3 or 4, where I started just doing the crazy camera stuff. You know, that's me when I'm at my best almost, or at least like I'm actually, when I do silly things, then I'm pretty, you know, I'm having a good day. Well, not just a good day, but I'm in that groove, you know? But currently, you know, I wanted to work on some new stuff, or not work on some new stuff. See, this stuff has been there for half a year now, and like, you know, or even stuff that I've recently done a month ago, 2 months ago, but I just haven't finished yet. I have a lot of big projects just sitting on the side. They either have a script in place already, or they have some video footage, or they have some recording from me, but no video. And this is what I want to talk about. You know, I more than anything, I just want to release some fun videos that people can enjoy, laugh at, or become informed from, you know? I want to even, well, not open some minds, you know, you guys can open your mind any day. It's more like, I want to make you have that aha moment or a realization moment, you know? I like sharing certain, because I don't know, you know, my friends tell me I analyze things so deeply that sometimes I go a little too deep. Sometimes I don't, but, you know, I want to share those things with you guys. But some of these videos are just, I don't know, they're a little bit hard to work on. And it's not that it's like, oh, well, you just record the video and, you know, there you go, right? And, you know, you write a script and you know, have your things all planned out for what you want to do. No, I know exactly what I want to do, and I have the script, like I said, for some of these at least. Yeah, some of those I want to just improv a little because it lets it be a little more real, or, you know, like it captures that emotion right in the moment. I'm a jazz musician on the side, so like, I mean, I haven't. You see, that's the thing. I want to talk about that too. That's a subsection, and this is something I do, and with a lot of my videos, you know, one thing becomes a subsection after another and another. But, you know, I kind of got this down because I was covering it in this video here. But, you know, living that kind of jazz life once I, you know, was at the end of middle school, for me, sometimes, I mean, and I'm not necessarily saying like improving in general, but just doing something for the first time on the spot really has a different effect than like something that was completely scripted and I practiced it multiple times, you know? And this is kind of what I want to go in about with my videos. Like, some of those videos are like a first try recording or a second try recording at most. And then after that, I'm like, oh boy, you know, I'm not sure if I could catch that groove again. And of course, you know, then I just let it go and I try to do things differently. But you see, it's that process that makes these videos take a while to come out, you know. Usually I'll have a eureka, and I'll be like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna go with this, and then I do it, and then boom. But, you know, like I said, I have some bigger projects I want to work on, and I wanted to let you guys know, like, you know, like, because if I released even one, if I somehow managed to release one, and then, you know, you guys might be wondering, like, oh, okay, that's cool. Is this like a one-time gig? Yeah, that's what it would become. That's what it would become for a very long time because of the current stuff I'm doing with myself right now. I'm just not... I'm not organized. Let's put it that way. Or maybe I don't know. I don't have my priorities in video making correct. And that reason, and I know the one thing that has been destroying me as of late when it comes to making a lot of recordings and all that stuff is literally the process of recording. It's the playing the game just to get to one specific part so I could finally talk about it. I mean, imagine going through Xenoblade just to get to a certain part in... Well, okay, I can't use Xenoblade as a good example. Let's just say you go through whatever RPG and you want to get to a point that's before the end and kind of like, you know, out there, like it's not something that everyone would easily cover, and you know, you don't happen to have a save data at that point, so now you got to play through the whole game again, and that can be a process because sometimes there's games that are only meant to be played, I mean, they're not meant to be played once, but they're meant to be played once in a while. You know, you beat it once, you let that all go. Xenogears, oh, you see, that's a game that it doesn't leave your mind. You know, that game left a really deep impression on me. I love Xenogears, but to play that again and go through some of those platforming segments just because I want to cover one very particular element in there that I found so fascinating. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. It's not gonna happen. Not with my lifestyle right now. I don't have that kind of time anymore. When I was in high school, I had plenty of time. When I was still in the beginnings of college, I had plenty of time. But now I got to think about big man things. And I mean, I'm not saying I can't do that. But it's not entirely realizable. You know? I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with my life. But within the realm of possibilities and the backlog of things I have to do, it's not gonna happen that easily, you know? So I have, and I mean, it's okay. It's legally okay, somewhat, to a degree, but I want, you know, like, at this point I realized, well, how am I gonna get that part of the video, you know, how am I gonna get that part in the game? And I was like, well, okay, I guess I just have to go to a person's YouTube who did like a walkthrough or something, or something of the sort, and use their video. And usually, you know, people credit each other and all that, but knowing me, it's so tough to bring myself to do that. Like for fighting games, yeah, that's like, you know, YouTube is like a library for fighting games, you know. It's like it's a resource. But when it comes to like other things, did I say like a lot? I'm using like a lot. I'm gonna get rid of that right now. But when it comes to using other things, I want to just use that segment of the video, but at the same time I want to be like, hey, I'm gonna use this in this part of the video, even though I could probably, you know, this part is the same as everyone else's part in their video, and you probably won't be able to discern it from anyone else, you know, like, you know, it feels somewhat wrong morally, but it kind of isn't at the same time. It's really weird. But I realize I have to do that. I don't really have a choice at this point. Because I really need to... I won't be able to get any of these videos done unless I have the footage. And where else to get the footage, you know? I don't have that time to get the footage, and it's like, oh, well, why are you doing this then? You know what? Why are you making YouTube if you don't, YouTube videos if you don't have time to do it? The thing is, I do have time to do it if I use my other options. You see, so it's a pointless, argument to have that. It's like, oh, but like, because it's still somewhat of a passion, but it's too bad these games back then didn't always have cutscene viewers and whatnot, or just certain ways to, like, because I mean, if it's stat related or mechanics related and you don't get a certain move until a certain point in the game, then you're kind of screwed, But I just want you guys to pretty much understand that I want to get more interesting stuff out to you. I really do. And I have a second channel that I have that mostly focuses on fighting games, and now I called it Casual Combos, so it's going to be just focusing more on, like, I mean, still fighting game mechanics, but like in other things. In fact, I was trying to do a Devil May Cry kind of esque themed video thing, where basically I try to find a way to be stylish in just certain games that have certain kinds of specific action game mechanics, right, that let you do some really cool combos or stylish things. But then I start to realize, oh shoot, throughout my entire game collection, there's like probably only 1 or 2 games that do that, or let me really make something look stylish. So sometimes these dilemmas are completely out of my control. I can't do anything about it. I thought I had something that would work, and then when I actually tried it with multiple things, I realized, I'll have to probably do a lot of editing or just make a parody out of this instead now, because what I tried to get across just wasn't actually coming through crystal clear. Otherwise, I have a video that I was going to start today, and it didn't happen because I was like, wait a sec, you don't get these 2 characters until however many hours into the game. Like, you don't actually get them in your party completely, so I could compare them all side by side, so I could show a specific relation between the RPG mechanics and the character that it goes with. So that's what kind of stopped me from doing it. And I was like, I was thinking, okay, maybe I should see if I could borrow a video. But some of the videos out there that were looking at, the statistics and this and that of the character were usually like, yeah, they do a versus thing against this, or, well, it's like, oh, level 99 party versus this specific boss, right? And I was thinking, oh, but I mean, they're trying to show off here, and it has more of their flair in it, or their personality, or just something there, of them. It's not as if it was just your generic walkthrough, no commentary video or anything like that. And I just started to get into a moral dilemma with myself. But I mean, I believe it would be okay, and I'd credit them and whatnot. And I mean, I'm a person who studies copyright law and everything. In fact, I was planning on becoming a lawyer. But my friend was like, are you really sure? But, well, I mean, and it's also something I had to study because I was in a video editing classes and whatnot. And they really went into detail about copyright law. So ever since I began college, I knew a lot about that stuff because I really studied into it. And regarding what it is they cover, since it's gameplay and anyone else could have that gameplay, technically in that legal zone, as long as I'm not using something related to like if they were to do like an original creation kind of process, like the whole idea is that you're not allowed to steal someone's original content. So their commentary would be the original part of the content, but the thing was this video had no commentary. So how would you be able to discern that video from another video if they're wearing the same exact equipment as someone else, have the same exact stats, etc., etc., etc.? So it is in that legal zone. It's almost an anything goes. I mean, that's why we had that issue before, a while back on YouTube. You know, so there were some game developers that were like, oh, how dare they do Let's Plays? We need to copyright strike the hell out of them because this is our content. How dare they? But it's like, hey, but we're commentating on the game. It's kind of like doing a live critique of every single section in the game. So we're actually this is complete fair use, what we're doing. And it is true, because if by any chance that somehow that went to Supreme Court and blah, 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 it wouldn't be a fair law to have that happening when, journalists and whoever can say whatever they want about games, because it's limiting that free speech kind of thing, and, blah, 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 blah. So, it's related to journalism, basically. Let's put it that way, when you critique something. You can't, critique is in complete fair use. It is not, it's intangible. You cannot touch that, legally at least, unless it hurts someone in some specific way and is targeted at them, then that would be slander or libel. Well, written would be libel, slander would be by mouth. But otherwise, that's just what was happening. And this was something that would come up every now and then with me. And just to make one such example where I did use people's videos, they were just super move exhibitions, so just super moves that you could do in the game. And it's like, well, I could have captured this from anyone playing the game in general, but I was using those because it was easier to track down the specific super move I was looking for, or special move to talk about in a video called it was top 10 signature moves in fighting games. That was a video I made on my Casual Combos channel. I know, what was it? I was actually in contact with Acid Glow at that time, so I used one of his videos. But then I remember I went back on it and I was like, I'll just record. I have this game, I'll record that myself, and then I changed that out. So for any game I didn't have or own, I would use it for that, because I've played it at a friend's house or whatever, and I really liked that move. Too bad I didn't have the game, kind of thing, right? But yeah, so I think I'm gonna definitely give credit to the people who even, like, for me, I want to give credit because especially if it's like if it was a specific thing that concentrated on that thing, like, oh yeah, this is an exhibition or a compilation of these specific things in here, or even someone talking about a specific thing, I want to actually just give credit to that, because if they didn't put that there, I would not have my resource to use on my video. If they didn't upload that, because just like I like making little super move compilations, they did it for a game I didn't have. Well, great. Thank you so much. I want to at least give them thanks for that. So I'm going to do my best, guys. And I'm sorry that this video had to devolve into something like this, but I felt that if I didn't tell someone, well, not someone, no. See, the thing is, I've talked to my friends about this, and just, that wasn't it. It was more, I wanted to let whoever's watching know, because it just, I don't know, it felt like the right thing to do. Maybe it isn't. But still, even then, I mean, and it's, I don't know. Now I've kind of lost not my point. I have my point still. It's just, I don't know. It makes me feel more comfortable, I guess, telling the YouTubers who are watching me, you guys out there and everything. And you know what, I really thank you guys for watching. I really do. Like, you know what, in 1 minute I'm gonna cover something I did wrong, because you guys deserve to know. I made a mistake back then, where I realized, oh, if I'm the first to do a certain kind of video, then I'll get I was obsessed with the views back in high school and stuff, and I released this video on a game that was still new to everybody, and I was talking all about it. I was going in depth with it, but then when it came to actually committing to it, I couldn't, because there was certain things in there that were just kind of beyond my grasp, because it was more of a creative tool to use to make things. It was EF12. It was like a 3D Mugen, which is like a fighting game kind of dream battle system that lets you put your own characters in there or other characters from games. And you know, I regret so much that I ever did that, because I was like, you know, this isn't me, this isn't my channel, this doesn't say me. And I had so many comments requesting that I do more and more and more, cover this, that, and I didn't know how to answer some of their questions. It was beyond me. So, you know, that's where I had an epic fall down, and for, I don't even know, maybe 2-3 years, maybe it was a year. I just don't even remember, but it was a long time that I never uploaded videos again. So I don't want to make that mistake. So that's why I really, really appreciate you guys just staying with the episodes and whatnot that I release, because after that, and just losing, you know, that community I had built up before that happened, and then having this large community of people who only wanted that one thing, it feels, you know, a lot better to finally have, you know, been doing things right again, you know, doing what I like, and, you know, just being me somewhat, to a good degree. You know, we can't always be ourselves 100%, but we could do our best to do so.